What's up, family? Welcome back to the Stop Sinking Show, where we go from struggle to flow. This story of faith comes from my faith being tested and almost abandoned altogether. I don't have pretty proof to present you how God exists. What I have is how my anger against God led me right back to Him. I was laying in bed the other day and I found myself angry with God. I was upset at how everything feels like unnecessary torture. How God took away my father in an untimely fashion after I spent years trying to get him back to good health. Angry about the mess that has been left in his wake. How difficult dealing with my sister has been. How on top of what is already a trying time, I have yet to find an ounce of peace. What feels like torture after torture. And while I don't shy away from taking accountability for the part that I play, probably almost to a fault, I'm willing to take all the blame for it. I still couldn't help but be angry at God because I constantly come to Him for solace. I constantly simmer my own heart by trusting in Him and telling myself that this must be a test, how in the right time He will show me the way. But in my anger that day, I told God, I will no longer ask you for anything. I don't even know if you are real. I don't even know if you give a damn about my day-to-day problems. All of it is just a pretty little story I tell myself to find momentary peace. And how even in all the accountability I take, I still leave some left over to put on Him. And that night I told Him, I will never ask you for anything again. I'm done asking. I'm done pretending like you are there. I'm done pretending like you will eventually make things right. And in some way, it gives me back even that little bit of power that I was putting off to Him. So I questioned my faith. I questioned the validity of it, the reliance on it. And then I had the following thoughts. Maybe I have faith all wrong. Maybe faith isn't about hope. I realized in reflecting on what I was angry at God about, in real time as I was expressing myself to Him, I heard another voice inside me tell me, you're tying your faith to the wrong idea altogether. Maybe faith isn't about what could be and what isn't. We think faith is asking God for things, measuring our life against what we ask for and what we experience. We think faith is found in the confirmation of His existence through what bends to our desires and what we can then express gratitude for because it matches our idea of what we have wanted for ourselves. And so what my anger got me to question and come to realize is that maybe faith isn't asking God for things and expecting Him to deliver. Maybe faith is realizing there's nothing to ask for. Maybe faith is in realizing that wherever you are, whatever you are, He has already deemed it to be so, and to trust that as it is and not ask for more. That's faith. And so through this process that started with anger, I didn't end up losing my faith. I strengthened my faith. My anger that first got me to question whether God even exists because I'm looking for evidence of Him in the gaps of what I am and what I hope to be, that then got me to see that the evidence isn't found in whether He narrows that gap. The evidence is in the very thing I am experiencing now, and the very things I lament, the very things I bemoan, and the very reality that I wake up to. There doesn't need to be a question of how this leads to there. Faith is found without reliance on magic in the very things you have and hold today. Because in those very things, He has already done his work. He has already made his presence known and felt, whether you like it or not. In every ounce of life you have already inside of you. He has already performed his miracles, moment to moment, hour to hour, day to day, because what is has already been bestowed. There is no more faith, no more God in the next moment than there is in this moment. He doesn't come and go. He is ever present. Even when you can't see him, even when you can't feel him, even when you look for him there and overlook how he is here. The evidence of God, the renewal of your faith, the strengthening of it is in this truth that God will use you where you are. If he doesn't need you to arrive anywhere to deem you useful, to consider you worthy, if he has already determined to put you here in this exact moment, in this exact situation, in this exact trial or tribulation, then to look for him anywhere else, to believe in him once you arrive somewhere else, is to overlook his presence now, to overlook his grace now, and to minimize where the deepest faith lies and the most earnest source of trust you can find available to you in this very moment. So whether you are struggling, suffering, or downright ready to surrender, your faith isn't found in the hope for a better tomorrow. Your faith is found in bowing to what already is. Even in that agony, there is glory. Whether it leads somewhere or not, he has already determined what your soul needs. You don't know what you need. You only know what you want. If you want to have faith, have it now. Suffer as if it has been decreed from the heavens for it to be so. And then, even in the pain, you will find purpose and prayer. I love you, family. Stay true always. I'll see you on the next show.